gentlemen, hello and welcome along to another instalment of our KUHN Baler mini-series. Throughout this series we are going to be delving deep into the world of KUHN balers, charting their journey all the way from factory right through to customer and everything in between. In this episode today we are out with A.R Richards Contracting, based near Market Drayton, and they are running a KUHN combi baler FBP 3135, and piloting the baler is Mr. Dan Edwards here, who is going to give us his thoughts on the machine and how he's been getting on with it. So Dan, before we get stuck into the baler, I mean, first of all, just tell us a little bit about A.R Richards.
A.R Richards, family run company, 40 years plus now. Started smaller than they are now for sure, but now we're running agricultural division plus other divisions, waste, construction, Euro bins, recycling, and then builders merchants as well. But agricultural division running 14 tractors now, all John Deere. Based in Shropshire, but covering Shropshire, Staffordshire, Cheshire, and beyond sometimes.
And, you know, throughout this, you know, the large area that you cover, I'd imagine, you know, the customer types must be quite diverse as well, are they?
Yeah, they are, yeah, definitely. Obviously we're a lot of dairy farmers with the grass harvesting and silaging, etc. But yeah, diverse, got the arable boys, also have beef animals, also do their baling and whatever else they might want in between. But yeah, meet all sorts of people.
And then yes, on to this KUHN combi baler, fixed chamber baler, the FBP 3135. Looks like it's fully loaded with toys as well, with the IntelliWrap system and the 3D wrapping system.
Yeah.
When would you have got this baler?
This baler now will be, I would say this is its second full season, and it did a little bit before that as well, come halfway through a season. But we'd had the same baler before that was a season old, or season and a half old I believe. So yeah, so we've been running for a few years now.
Right, and overall, how have you got on with the KUHN combis?
Yeah, very impressed. We've liked it very much so really, hence the second one coming along. It's a good baler, good output, reliable, you know, very operator friendly.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And then the binding type on this, I see that you are applying film inside the chamber.
Yeah.
Can you do net as well with this?
Yeah, you can, obviously straw and hay, when that comes along, yeah, switch onto net, and obviously if you really wanted to, you could still use your net and then wrap the film if you're making grass silage, but no one does that now.
Right.
Because the film on film's pretty...
That's fairly took over, has it?
Yeah, definitely so. It's become ever more so popular.
Right. And what are some of the reasons behind that?
I think really ease of dealing with the bales and ease of dealing with the waste. Obviously it's easier for us as well. You're only dealing with one lot of product for our point of view. You can just roll out the yard all filled up with wrap. Obviously the front of the baler carries the same wrap as the back.
I was going to say, because it does use the same rolls as the rear wrapper, so does that make it a little bit easier for you guys, not having to have a different kind of, you know, plastic film roll at the front as well?
Yeah, definitely. On the 750s on the front, we're on 1800 metre rolls. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier. You just roll out with the baler full and the wrap carrier full, and jobs are good, really.
Right.
Simple as that.
And then in terms of, you know, especially with the silage quality with the film on film, has customers noticed any difference, you know, with the film on film compared to net and film?
Yeah, I think they have really, yeah, definitely so. They find it's a much tighter fit to the bale, all snug, you know, sandwich it all, it's all in contact with the bale, shutting out anything else that you don't want in there really.
And then how would you say this combi baler compares to maybe some other previous combi balers that you might have had?
Yeah, definitely, it's definitely up there. I'd say it's we've had other ones on demo recently, and we've run other machines before, and yeah, this definitely competes well up there with the rest of them. Personally, I think it's a favourite baler seen working and used. I haven't used so much of the other ones, but I've been around and seen them working. And yeah, I definitely think this is a personal favourite of me and a few others as well, really. Yeah.
Right. And what attracted you to the KUHN Balers in the first place?
I don't know. I think it was just the dealer at the time, Malcolm's Tractors. They said try one, so we did, and we're happy with the deal, really.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. We're not always easily switched either. We can be quite keen to stick with what we have.
Mm.
So yeah, it's obviously made a fair impression.
And what would you say are some of the Baler's standout features for you guys?
Yeah, as you say, the film on film with using all the same wrap product all the way through, that's definitely a feature. You haven't got to either being supplied with 2 lots of film or carry 2 lots. Speed as well, it's pretty nifty binding and switching the bale onto the wrapping table. And then as far as the wrapping is concerned, considering it's wrapping 3D as well, it doesn't hang around doing it.
No.
It soon gets the job done as much as you can feed it into the baler, really. It's waiting for the next bale sort of thing.
And it'll keep up with you.
Yeah, just about.
And throughput and appetite, what's that like with this machine?
It takes it well. You can crack on with it. It seems to handle pretty much any swap you get in front of it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that will stop it. You just you can soon whack through the acres. You get some good fields on some good days, and you can crack on through nicely, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like you were mentioning before, you know, you got a wide customer base.
Yeah.
And with that'll come lots of varieties of crop weights and things like that, and crop types.
Definitely.
So, like I say, it pretty much handles most of them, if not all of them, pretty
yeah,
well.
we'd obviously we're in August now, and we're still doing some first cuts around, haylage, hay, whatever it might be. So you can imagine the crops on, and yeah, it seems to take in its stride, really. You just, as much as you feed it in, it keeps taking it in, keeps eating it up.
Yeah.
But the same again, if you're working in smaller crops, people who are doing multiple cuts a year, it still makes as tidy a bale, still makes a nice square edge bale. Even if you're on small lush crops. Right.
And pickup wise, does that, in terms of following the ground and contours and things like that, does it cope pretty well around these parts? Because there is a few hills around here.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does cover the ground well, and fields, like you say, uneven fields, old school fields, green butts possibly, or whatever we might come across. Yeah, it handles it well. It's obviously it's slip clutch protected as well, so if you do miss,
if you get a bit eager,
yeah, if you get a bit of a mishap, it will save you sometimes. And obviously the wheels each side of it, they stay where they are whether you're travelling or in the field. So
right, so that's, you don't have to take those off at all.
No, that's one less thing to worry about and be concerned with. They just stay there. They're well within the width of the baler when it's travelling down the road. So yeah.
And is the pickup a good width for you?
Yeah, it is a good width. It seems to take it all. We're not always running the rate shut right down. It's working at a tidy width sometimes. Yeah, it does work well.
And how do you rate the sort of all-in-one sort of auger and feed rotor as well? Because that's quite different from most of the competition, you might say.
It handles it well. Obviously, it's full width auger, but yeah, it takes it in well, even when you're working with the knives in or whatever it might be. Yeah, it seems to take it in well. If it does come to the point where it won't take it no more and it kicks out, you just drop your drop floor, disengage the pickup wheel and then take in what you got, and then it'll just clear itself through. You haven't got to start getting out and digging around.
No.
You just disconnect the drive on the spool valve hydraulically, and sometimes you don't even have to get out of the seat.
Winning.
Yeah, you can't beat that, can you?
That's it. And visibility, so I mean, pretty much from your point of view there, where you sat in the seat, because like even from, where I'm sat, it's quite a snug baler, isn't it? So you can see over the top of it, you can see pretty well down to the pickup reel. There's not a lot in your way, is there?
No, it is. It's a very low down baler, really. You can see, obviously we run the camera on the back to watch your wrapping table, but if you haven't got a camera for whatever reason, you can still see your wrapping arms moving around, your safety arms, whether they're in, obviously it's all censored, comes up on the box anyway, but you can see it physically with your own eyes, yeah, and whatnot. But yeah, it's a compact baler, but it's not too bad to work on at all either. It's when you're working in it and around it, all the panels open up and you're away really, yeah.
And is there much tail swing with this machine?
No, there isn't really. It's pretty good with it just being a bit narrow on the back. I think the lights are just setting a little bit to a nice width. So if you've gone around, you know, if you travel around and you sweep round, it won't catch unless you get yourself in a real mess.
Again, if you get really ambitious.
Yeah, if you're really trying hard. But it's a low down baler. When you look at it, you might think, oh, it's a bit low, but we get in some uneven gateways and uneven areas, and yeah, it's surprising where it will go. It doesn't very often you have any issues grounding out or anything like that.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of an advantage as well with it being a low baler on some of these hills around here, keeping that centre of gravity down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a nice width as well. Obviously, it's a twin axle, so it travels well on the road. And on the hills really, yeah, it travels across the fields well, it does. And
on the headlands with that twin axle, do you find it scuffs at all, or is it pretty gentle?
Yeah, it is pretty gentle. It's got a nice set of tyres on it as well, and they don't make too much damage at all really. It's you know, if your rakeman's done a good job and your headland's a nice job, your first time round in the corners, yeah, you don't have no issues at all with it really. If you turn in from swath to swath, even if you turn on to the next swath and not missing one, yeah, you don't have no scrub up, no bringing up with it really.
Yeah, failing that, blame the rake man.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we tend to do.
So in terms of, you know, the all important bale shape and density, how does this bale perform?
Yeah, good shape bales always square edged. I think again from working with that full width intake, it makes a tidy bale, whatever the crop and whatever the swath really. Yeah, you keep the density well up, make a solid bale without any issues really. You don't have no issues with the chamber, the baler struggling with it. So yeah, all is good on that front really.
And then just going back to this this film binding system.
Yeah.
I mean, just from where I'm sort of sat, it's doing quite a lot of movement. Is it sort of reliable on the whole?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it never seems to cause any issues. I don't think. It's yeah, obviously, like you say, once they start binding in, they rotate 90 degrees to give a full width film across the bale. But yeah, it's a reliable system as well as the back is really. As far as the wrapping, obviously again they rotate for the 3D wrapping. To wrap across the full width of the bale, which is good for the bale as well, keeps the corners well protected if they get abused when being moved or whatever. And you don't have no fault with that system at all really, no.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a clever system when you're watching it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it amazes a few people as they take it in, as you go past by.
Yeah. And does it actually save any wrap at all as well with all this clever wrapping system?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it's with having the 3D, you don't get as much overlap in certain parts of the bale to cover all the bale with however many layers it is. Obviously 4, 6, 8, whatever you want. It's known as 5 layers really with your film binding. But yeah, no, you don't get as much overlap at all on the edges. So it's yeah, I think you save a lot of wrap over a season for sure.
Yeah.
Talking of which, right on cue, good that, isn't it?
So just talk us through the process of what you go through.
Obviously that one's been used, that one's gone out of the way. And then with your new wrap, obviously you've got storage in the side.
And how many can you store on this machine?
Yeah, your 10 you can store for your wrapping at the back, and then it's got 4 at the front, store in theory for your film binding. But obviously your binding lasts a lot longer than the back does, like, so right. You can move them to the back if need be, if needs allow really.
So how many bales will the front two rolls will
cover? I think you're at 160 160, 170 for your front two, depending on exactly how much you do want to put on. And that's what we're at on our size rolls. And then the backs obviously depend on how many layers you're talking then, really, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, the back's well easy to load. You've only got a couple levers, and it's a nice height as well too.
I was going to say, it sort of sticks with that theme of being, you know, sort of low, sort of compact bale.
Yeah, you're not lifting anything over your head or anything too out there, really. You're just a nice height to work at to see what's going on. So it's pretty nifty baler to get loaded back up in between jobs or at night or whatever, yeah.
That's it, just like that.
Simple as that.
And are the fronts just as easy to do as that as well?
Yeah, they are really, considering what you got to do. Obviously they're up higher up on the baler, but again they fold down to the side to allow you just to lift them up on the side, and then they just fold up.
Right, so you just literally slide those on rather than, you know, having to blooming
climb up and fall off it again, yeah.
That's it. And like we were saying before, it must be a lot simpler and easier with having the short rolls rather than one big roll up there as well.
Yeah, definitely lift them on from each side. You haven't got to lift it across. Obviously you've got your steps, which will then fold up out the way to save you getting intertwined in any crop if you're getting on big crops.
Good stuff, right. Back to it, sunshine.
Back to it, yeah.
And you mentioned before, you know, it easily keeps up, you know, with the wrapping table, the transfer as well from the chamber.
Yeah, I think you're about 20. I think it's about 25 seconds from beep to beep, like from stop to go again. With your binding. If you're in a nice crop, obviously your wrapper's always just finished just in front of your binding, really, like. So it's always out well. You've slowed down. Bind your bales, so you're not chucking the bales out at full speed. The wrapping table drops low to the floor and just lets them sort of roll off nicely.
I was going to say, it practically sort of touches the floor, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does really. It's not no fair wallop, no fair drop on the wrap. And it's fresh on the bale. It's just it's a nice fall to the floor, roll off, and away you go. Really, as far as operating goes. It's easy to understand. You can have it in auto, so it throws them off automatically, or obviously if you're working on hills or across hills or headlands, you can switch on to manual, so you've got time to back it up, back it out of the way, and get rid of the bale accordingly, really.
And I see you're using the CCI terminal today, so what's that like to kind of use, operate, get your head around?
Yeah, it's pretty simple really. As far as operating it goes, sometimes we'll run it through the ISO bus on the tractor as well, on the screens in the tractors, and it's all the same layout, all the same screens, so if you've sussed it on one screen, you've sussed it on them all really.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're well easy screens to understand. You can do it step by step manually if you want. If you have had an issue or wrap breaking or whatever, you can sort of go through it step by step whilst you deal with that bale, or if you've got an awkward bale for whatever reason, and then as soon as you're back at it, just throw it back into auto and you're away again. And
power wise, does this baler take much driving at all?
No, it doesn't. It's a 540 baler, runs at 540, but now we run like we're on all John Deere's here, 195s, 155s, but yeah, the 155s will handle it with ease. Even on, again, steep ground, climbing up banks, it's not a particularly heavy baler to drag around, even when you've got the bale on the table and the bale in the chamber. Yeah, they handle it, no dramas at all really.
And when you are sort of working on slopes as well, is the wrapping table quite stable?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good system. The wrapping table is tilted forward whilst the bale's transferring and being loaded onto it, and then it self-levels it, so it's like sort of a gentle blow rather than just landing onto the wrapping table. So yeah, when you're climbing up bank, it's done a throw it off the back of a baler. If you're climbing up that steep, then you're doing quite well really. But it's a good system. Again, in the controls, if you do want to put it onto manual so it doesn't throw it out of the chamber until you say so, and you're on level ground, you can do. And then just tap the button then, and then it'll load it on level ground, and then just carry on again in auto really. They're foolproof as well, like you can't jump a step or get anything to clash with anything else because the Baler knows, and it just won't allow you to do it until it's sorted itself out or you've corrected it yourself really.
Yeah. And is this the kind of Baler, you know, in terms of, you know, just jumping on and cracking on with it, would most people be able to, you know, could you throw most people in the seat?
Yeah, I think so. Even people with lesser baling experience or no baling experience at all really, which is where I started. When I jumped onto this machine, I'd never operated another round baler myself on my own like, and it's soon easy to pick up. It's all pretty self-explanatory really. It's got a good layout on the screen, everything's symboled up well, so yeah, pretty impressive really.
So finally, Dan, yeah, just sum up your time with the KUHN combi baler.
Yeah, impressed.
Yeah?
Very, very impressed, and overall very happy really, very pleased, as I know many others are really. Yeah, it's been a good machine. Hopefully it carries on being a good machine.
And do you think we'll be, if it does carry on being a good machine, you might stick with KUHN as well?
I think we possibly will. I think we'll possibly expand the fleet maybe.
All right, add another one, right?
You never know what's on the cards, so yeah, it'd be good to see another one on the bank for sure.
Yeah. Do you think variable chamber one might be the next one, or stick with fixed chamber? Or?
Wow, whatever really. Yeah, I don't know. We just have to see how it plays out.
That's it. See what the customers want.
Well, definitely, that's for sure.
So there you go, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got a little bit of something from Dan there and his experiences with this KUHN combi baler. As ever, go check out all our other stuff on Landpower TV, and don't forget to check out the other episodes in this KUHN baler mini series. And as ever, we will catch you again next time.